going on, Tricology family, and welcome back to another episode of the Tricology News Talk. As it is Super Bowl weekend, y'all. And as far as the festivities is concerned, today is Saturday. We do have the Super Bowl gospel celebration concert, and then tomorrow on Super Bowl day, we got the Puppy Bowl, and then the actual Super Bowl itself. So I need to know, is y'all team 49ers or is y'all team Chiefs? But what, or if y'all team Usher, and just get about the halftime show. But we'll see how that goes. But we will be covering the results of the Super Bowl next week, and go on everything else. But as far as for this week's episodes, this will be mostly filled with mainstream news. No movie review for this week. So, but we will be reviewing the Bob Marley One Love movie next week. And so, yeah, with that being said, let's get into our episode today. So, with our mainstream news. And first thing we're going to talk about, Blade, to be rated R story about villain hunting his his daughter's blood. Let's read what Joe Blog had to say. Now the project seems to be rolling towards production again, and the industry scooper Daniel Richardman has revealed some details. According to his Patreon report, Blade is a rated R period piece that will tell the story of Lily going after Blade's daughter's blood to create an army of daywalkers. Lily's weapon will appear to be the ebony blade that was previously featured in the Eternals. Well, all I can say is that they better make sure that Blade is the main character, okay? And not focus too much on his daughter. So we don't need to be a full-blown female dominance in there. That it can't be too much of that, okay? Like balance out their screen time. So and like I said, Blade is the main character. That's why it's called Blade. So yeah, so I just hope that it is good. So, but it's a good thing that it's rated R. So that is good. Moving on, Paul Bettany confirms that Vision will be returning to the MCU. So according to Comic Book Reader says, Benny confirmed during a panel at the MegaCon 2024 that he will definitely be returning as Vision in the MCU in some fashion. When asked by a fan if he will be returning as Vision in any way, shape, or form, Paul Bettany paused for a moment and replied, "Well, yeah. I mean, why not? Yes, 100%." So the question is, where is he gonna return at? Is he gonna return in Secret Wars? Is he gonna return in Kane Dynasty? Is he gonna return in Deadpool 3? We don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. Jeremy Renner says he's ready to return as Hawkeye. And this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter saying, Jeremy Renner is opening up whether about he's down to reprise his role as Hawkeye in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He spoke to Entertainment Tonight recently, more than a year after his near-fatal snowplow accident on January 1st, 2023, about the potential returning to the Avengers franchise. I'm always game, Renner says. I'm going to be strong enough, and that's for sure. I'll be ready. The Mayor Kingsman actor who broke 30 bones after being run over by a 14,300-pound snowcat at his home in Revenue, Nevada. So, yeah. And if Jeremy Renner is 100% to return as Hawkeye, I do believe Hawkeye will be like the mentor of the Young Avengers, which they kind of teased that in the post-credit scene of the Marvels. So, yeah. That's where I think where Hawkeye is going to be leaning towards that in the MCU. So yeah, and I hope the Jamie Renner can give us another season for the Mayor of Kingstown as well. So yeah, I love that series there. And moving on, Blue Beetle star confirms DCU return, and this is what Screen Rant had to say. Pure Screen Rant. The actor said he was confident that the character's return will be soon, but he can't say exactly how that will be. I know we'll see Blue Beetle again, whether it comes from in the form of Blue Beetle 2 or whatever. Miranda says, it will be really great to work alongside James Gunn and Priya Safran, who have graciously fooled us with their new universe, even though I wasn't a part of what they came up with. It was an honor. Now, where Blue Beetle heads in the future, I don't know. But I can confidently say that we will see him soon. So yeah, I do believe that James Gunn and Priya Safran will bring Blue Beetle into the DCU. Argyle bombs at the box office this past last weekend. So here is the reported budget. It came out to 200 million. The marketing budget was 60 million, and it only made 18 million in opening weekend. So hopefully they can break even before they go out to digital. They haven't sent out a release date for the Apple Plus release because even though this is distributed by Universal, but at the same time, Apple TV gained the streaming rights for Argyle. So yeah. Moving on. Gremlins star gives a Gremlins 3 update, but do audience want it? That is a good question. But let's read this statement here saying Gilgan, in an interview with Screen Rant, stated that Warner Brothers may be planning to bring back a cult classic, thus in the form of a live-action film. I can't really figure out why Warner Brothers would do season 2, not one, but 2 seasons of the animated series, and spend a lot of money on it, unless there was some kind of end game. And usually the end game for a huge studio like Warner Brothers Discovery is a live action film, says Gillian. I don't think it will be a reboot though, because Christopher Columbus has nailed that idea. So hopefully we get some more updates on that. So that didn't give me like a clear cut view if they're gonna do Gremlins 3. But hey, we'll see how that goes. The next Jurassic World movie to be helmed by John Wick and Deadpool 2 director David Lynch. And this is coming from Deadline reporting saying Universal Pictures' new Jurassic World pick is in the early talks with David Lynch to direct the new film in the billion-dollar franchise. The film is set to be released on July 2nd, 2025. The new movie will be a completely fresh take on a Jurassic era with Jurassic World cast members Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard not expected to return, nor the original trilogy's Spencer, Jeff Blumen, Laura Dunn, and Sam Neill. So I guess we will be, like I mentioned before, we're probably going to get new cast members. Who they are, we don't know, but we'll see how that goes. First look at Daredevil's new costume in Daredevil Born Again. And this is coming from Direct saying, the new costume Charlie Cox will wear is for his portrayal of Daredevil in the Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again, has been spotted on set during the filming on the streets of New York City. The top and the pants were almost entirely red, with nothing too much black lighting. It appears to be a slighter, more satchel color than what we've seen in Cox's suit in his cameo appearance in the 2024 Echo series. So yeah. Uh so yeah, when you look at like the suits when they're actually filming compares to what they actually put on in the final edit. So we'll see how that goes. Even though I had some mixed feelings the when I saw the costume, but we'll see how it looks in the post production as it seems. But moving on. Madam Web review embargo updates is concerning. And this coming from the direct saying the review embargo for Sony Pictures' upcoming Madam Web will lift at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, February 13th. This means the first reviews of the movie will only be released as early as the day before the movie's theatrical debut on Wednesday, February 14th. Throughout not necessarily the case, an embargo list so close to the movie's release can indicate a lack of confidence in the project from the studios. Possibly since there is no less time for negative reviews to circulate before the public's release. So, yeah, I think enough said about that. Disney starts password sharing crackdown for Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN. And this is the verbiage said the following. The writer has been on the wall for months now, but Disney Plus is finally implementing measures to keep US subscribers from sharing their passwords with people who are not paying for the service. Today, Disney Plus began sending out emails for informing subscribers about a new changes to its terms of service that will, amongst their other things, making it hard for people to access the service using their login credentials that ain't actually theirs. So yeah, I would say just give it to those that you can actually trust, that are really like your real great best friends or like family members. So don't give it to like anyone else. So that's all I can say about that. Chris Hemsworth and Matthew Vaughn are secretly film a new action film. This is what Matthew Vaughn had to say. I have been producing a very, very special movie. I'm very excited about it. I just saw a half an hour cut together. This will have the same sorts of impact as Kick-Ass did. You ask Sam Rockwell as he just gives everything away in an interview. We are like, Sam is under contract. You are not allowed to speak about that. But is it a movie? I can say it's a movie that is written, directed, and starring my stunt team. It is a film like no movie has ever been. And it's revealing an action movie. So, I can already tell that this movie is definitely going to have action sequences like The Kingsman and Argyle. So, yeah, you already have anything that Matthew Vaughn does, it's already exciting. And I'm already sold. Especially with Chris Hemsworth in this movie. So, we got to see who else is going to be in the movie. Pedro Pascal officially confirmed in Fantastic Four. And this is what Superhero Hype had to say. Pedro Pascal's career retrospective page on the SAG Foundation website seemed to have confirmed Pascal's presence in the Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. The page listed that some of the star's most famous roles, then simply noted that he will be soon begin production on the Fantastic Four. This comes after months of the rumors and scoops that Pedro Pascal has the role of Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, in the MCU. Pascal had recently wrapped production on Ridley Scott's highly anticipated Gladiator 2 and will soon begin production for Marvel Studios' Fantastic Four. The page reads. So yeah. So we got that confirmed. Well, we need to know who else is going to be cast in the Fantastic Four. Who's going to be Invisible Woman? who's going to be the Thing, and who's going to be the Human Torch. That we need to know. Super Bowl trailer predictions and previews. So, these are some of the lists that are expected and are rumored to have a trailer during Super Bowl Sunday. And the lists are Deadpool 3, Inside Out 2, Twisters, Quiet Place Day 1, One Love, If, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Wicked, and Alien. So, um, some of the movies have already been released for their big game spot. So we just have to wait and see if the other ones will be the release there on the same day as Super Bowl Sunday. So yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, Kevin Spacey, 2 court wins and a new trailer. Can he make a comeback? So the last time I saw Kevin Spacey on screen was, of course, was House of Cards on Netflix and Baby Driver. That's the last time I saw Kevin Spacey. But let's read this statement here saying Kevin Spacey has now yet again a legal victory. Originally ordered to pay $31 million to House of Cards, producer MRC has now agreed to a payment of just $1 million. Not only that, but he gets to pay it over multiple years installment equal to 10% after his tax income. It follows the House of Cards after being not found guilty in a UK court of sexual assault trial in July of 2023. Spacey plays a killer with no moral compass in Peter 5-8, where marks the first leading role since his career imploded with allegations of sexual misconduct in 2017. So, yep, Kevin Spacey is back on the market. So, yep. And with that being said, Moana 2 officially comes in November in a surprise announcement. So yeah, it is definitely a surprise because originally we were supposed to get a Disney Plus series following up the events from the first movie. So I guess after the Disney's earnings call and Bogart was like, oh, probably saw the footage was like, oh man, this is too good. So we're gonna have to change this from a series to an actual second film. So yeah, that's what I think it probably happened. That's why we got the change from being a series to a film. So yeah, but the question is the footage that Bob Iger saw is going to be really good, and also will it be really good in time when it releases in November? But let's read this statement here. The line where the sky meets the sea is calling Moana once again. Disney announced a sequel to Moana, which will be released theatrically on November 27th. The company CEO Bob Iger revealed the news on CNBC ahead of Disney's first quarter of financial 2024 earnings report. The second Moana was originally developed as a TV series, but became a feature film because of Iger was impressed of the footage. Moana remains an incredible popular franchise. Iger said in a statement, "We cannot wait to give you more Moana and Maui when Moana 2 comes to theaters in November." And what interesting about this is that not only will we getting a Moana 2 this year, but next year we're going to be getting a live action version of Moana, and that's crazy to look at. But hey, I'm still excited, and the one thing I would say is that I think this was a good call because a lot of people are saying, oh, a lot of the stuff that Disney been putting out on Disney Plus now, people are not really feeling it, or some people just like, oh, like I'm not gonna watch this certain particular one in theaters, and I'll just wait for Disney Plus. A lot of people have like different feelings, so yeah. but we'll see how that goes. But continue on. Disney announced Zootopia 2 in 2025, along with Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3 in 2026. And this is coming from MovieWeb saying, now, we all knew when we will be sitting down to watch several highly anticipated Disney and Pixar sequels, including Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3, coming in part of the company's Quarter 1 2024 earnings conference call. Disney CEO Bob Iger revealed that Zootopia 2 will be arriving in 2025, with its exact release date now revealed as November 26, 2025, while both Toy Story 5 and Frozen 3 are both now due to land in theaters in 2026. So I'm excited for Zootopia 2. I'm definitely excited for Toy Story 5. And I do still have a kind of interest for Frozen 3, even though it's not my favorite, but it's still good. But yeah. And yeah, so it's gonna be very interesting. And then the Mandalorian feature film is also set for 2026. And this is coming from IGN saying DC CEO Bob Iger recently spoke to the new slate for Star Wars during the earnings call. This new slate has been led by the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, and the release date it has set for 2026. Moreover, Pedro Pascal will be returning as the beloved bounty hunter, Din Djarin, and John Vatu will be the director. This movie will be the first of other movies that were confirmed recently. So yeah, and we also got to confirm is that that a new Star Wars of the main series that will be led by Ray will also be releasing in 2026, I believe. So yeah, it's gonna be very 2026 is definitely hyping things up. So yeah, and yeah, we haven't got to 2025 yet. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. Coyote and Emma looks dead. No one will to pay what it costs to make. Man, look like that movie is on the shelf and dead. But coming from the Virago saying the movie itself reportedly cost up to 75 million to make. Industry analyst says Warner could be in position to benefit about 40 million in tax break if they write it down as a complete loss. According to sources, the studio wasn't willing to be a part of the movie to a competitor that some 40 million through ask rather than an amount which it would be represent a break even proposal of the studio of 75 million. Apparently no buyer has been found willing to foot that bill. So yeah, like I said, that movie is dead. Moving on. Jonathan Majors, more Eds, and the Lovecraft Country crew speak out against him. And this is what the AV had to say. The New York Times piece focused on two women, Emma Duncan and Manuel Harper, both who were both in a long-term romantic relationship, now with the former Marvel star. Both were said he was possessive and abusive, physically so, at least one of the women alleges. The Times also spoke that several women who worked on Major's breakout project, HBO series Lovecraft Country, who describes instances of unprofessional behavior from the start. Female staffers said they warned each other about keeping their distance from Majors on the show's set. Man, that is some news there. Like, that's crazy. Game of Thrones prequel, Elise's Conquest, coming from the Batman writer. And this is what the TKR had to say. HBO is partnering with Madison Tillman, who did work on Matt Reeves' The Batman, and is co-writing the upcoming sequel, The Batman Part 2. He also wrote the Keanu Reeves action comic adaptation BRZRKR and the animated Terminator series, which he also showrun for Netflix. AG Conquest is basically a direct prequel to the hit of A House of the Dragons, telling the story of Tiana's bloody and brutal conquest of the Westers. The story follows an invasion of Agoturgon, who conquered the continents of the Westers with his sister's wives, Remy and Veneza. So, yeah, this is very interesting, and I'm excited for that one, and hopefully we get some more updates on that. And then lastly, Doom Part 2, box office forecast looks promising. And this is coming from Deadline saying, the most conservative sees the sequel to the Dennis Raver feature adaptation of Fritz Haber's 1965 novel between 65 million plus, which is 59% 83% higher than the opening of Doom back in 2021. In case y'all didn't know, it was just still during the pandemic season, and they did the day and day release. Doom Part 2 tickets went on sale on January 26th, 34 days out. We heard that pre-sales out of the gate indicate that Doom Part 2 is pacing ahead of the advanced ticket sales of Universal's Oppenheimer, which makes sense given the fanboys are the force to buy. Several analysts believe that Doom Part 2 has a shot of at a 75 million 80 million opening weekend. So that is sign of good things to come. And Warner Brothers needs a good start for 2024. So yeah, and I already got my ticket for Doom Part 2, and I cannot wait. And with that being said, that's our episode today. I already mentioned the schedule for this for Super Bowl weekend. So yeah, once again, let me know if you're Team 49ers or your team the Chiefs. Or maybe you're just Team Usher or your team just for the commercials. Yeah. And with that being said, if you're watching me on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell when new episodes are uploaded. And of course, if you're listening to me on Spotify, Google Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts, or any other podcast streaming platform, don't forget to follow me there as well. And with that being said, this is Trico, and I'm signing off, y'all. Peace.